Continuing coverage of breaking news here on Studio B, the mother of a little 2-year-old girl who's been missing in the state of Florida for 2 months is still behind bars and today faces new charges directly related to this case. In addition, her mother was supposed to visit her today in jail. Her mother never showed. Phil Keating is live on scene. Phil, what do we know about what happened there?
Well, Cindy just returned back to her house, which is about a 25-minute drive from here, and she told reporters outside in the neighborhood that she was able to send a message to Casey, her daughter here in jail, that she wasn't going to be able to make that little 1-hour meeting at 1 p.m. She said she canceled ahead of time because she didn't want to impede the investigation, i.e. the search for 2-year-old Caylee. Since all of these jailhouse interviews and conversations and phone calls are public record in Florida's broad sunshine laws, the mother of Casey, Cindy, the grandmother of Caylee, said she didn't want to go in there because everything's recorded and everything that they said, they're afraid that that's going to be put out on TV and on radio and in the newspapers and jeopardize the ongoing search for little Caylee, which has been going on now very intensely for 3 weeks. But right now, investigators are pretty much just following up leads, following tips, and we did find out just this morning that cops did take cadaver dogs into a wooded area behind a local elementary school here in the past couple of days after following up on a tip that potentially something was back there. However, those cadaver dogs found nothing whatsoever.
All right. Now, you mentioned jailhouse recordings, and I was talking about one just a little while ago before we went to the commercial break. It was the man who we just saw here on screen. That's the mother's brother. And they've been having these conversations in jail. And, well, you decide for yourself. Listen to the words he uses regarding others within their circle. Who to trust, who not to trust. This is from like 5 days ago.
I know there's some people that we refer to past, and, I'm just curious if, anything has changed as far as, who I can trust and all those type of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned here, I don't really know on that level. I guess understandably, just being out of contact, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, nothing's really changed.
Now, that's a cryptic bit of something or other, isn't it, Phil Keating?
Yes, keep it in mind here, Lee, the brother, is trying to do essentially work for her. Give information, addresses, names, contacts, anything that may lead investigators to the whereabouts of Caylee, because investigators say Casey, Caylee's mother, has repeatedly failed to give them the full story. For 4 weeks, and Lee told me this a couple of weeks ago, for 4 weeks, Casey was telling her mother, Cindy Anthony, the grandmother, who was asking, when do I get to see my grandchild again? She would constantly say, oh, tonight, Mom, or well, you'll see little Caylee tomorrow. But day after day after day, that never materialized. So Cindy Anthony, the grandmother, was so frustrated, she finally, took Casey to the police substation. That's when she made those 911 calls on July 15th, trying to get her daughter arrested, trying to force her daughter to reveal where is the granddaughter, and that is when Cindy, the grandmother, finally found the car. So the brother Lee is now in the position of trying
that smelled to police like a decomposing body was in the trunk.
Exactly. So Lee is now talking to her in jail, saying, look, tell me everything you know, write a letter, write an essay, recall everything you possibly can. He's trying to do the work that investigators are saying Casey is not providing them, trying to get those details. And if you read the arrest affidavit, the investigators say person after person, friend after friend, address after address, and of course the mysterious nanny. None of it panned out what Casey told investigators. All of these friends said, number one, you can't trust what she says, and number two, I don't know what you're talking about.
So she was going to write this letter. Did she ever write the letter?
She did not write the letter. According to jail personnel, every inmate who is not on suicide watch, and that is the case with Casey, is allowed to have a pen and is allowed to have paper. And the whole time you're sitting locked up behind bars, theoretically, you could sit there and write all day long until your hand gets tired. Well, the brother says, please write this letter. A couple of days later, he has another phone call with her from jail that she makes collect to the house. Lee says, have you written the letter yet? And she tells him, this is last Thursday night. Oh, I haven't finished it yet. If I get a little more time, hopefully I need a little more rec time to finish that up. Then on Sunday, Casey tells her father that she wrote this letter detailing everything she knew, gave it to her attorney. Then the attorney tells us Monday, I don't have a letter, I don't know what you're talking about. And now the brother says there is no letter.
Wow. Phil Keating live on scene. Phil, stick around. We're going to talk more about this case in a minute. We're going to bring our legal panel in to talk about the details of these new charges against the mom in this case. And, well, we're going to also much more on other stories that are happening today, including our legal panel on this. That's all straight away on Studio Bay.
Tonight, she's been on the case from the very beginning. Now, as new developments unfold and a crucial DNA test is revealed,